welcome to this video. I'm going to walk you through the creation of a simple story map. So, as we said in the other document shared in the class, a story map is just a powerful way of telling a story. We our work in GIS pretty much makes maps, but the story maps opens up a new door for us to be able to share the same information that people are interested in, but in a more unique and a more engaging way. And that is what pretty much a story map is. Think about it as saying, okay, I have a project I want to do. I want to present this to people. Traditionally, we'll make a map, print it out on a poster, and then just put it out there and hope people will stop by and read, look at a map. But in the age where people are always on the go on a mobile, a story map is one easy way that we can engage users that are traditionally not GIS folks to be able to see the work that we do. So I'll show you how to make a simple story map. So if you're going to make a story map, that means that you have a story you want to tell, right? So pretty much what are you interested in that you want to build something to tell about? And in our case, it can be related to a location, which is the maps, and it can also be just text and pictures. All right. So in this example, I'm going to do, I have some buildings in SoCal that I'm interested in, putting up a simple story map. And it's always good that you have the framework of the topic you want to discuss, and also you want to have some descriptions, and also you have to have some pictures, and then some locations to help tie in the story. All right. So what we're going to do is here you can see I've logged into storymaps.arcgis.com, and then you are using your same ArcGIS online account. So when you use your ArcGIS online account, you should be able to sign into the Storymaps page. It's the same account. The next thing that I have is that you can see I do have an Excel spreadsheet that I've created, which pretty much has the buildings, the history of the building, and some other information about the building that I want to use to be able to tell the story. So for instance, here you can see I have addresses, so meaning that I can use the addresses to turn this data into points on the map, so that when I'm creating the story map, I can actually zoom to the location of where those churches are and be able to tie in up with the story that I'm trying to tell to my audience. The other thing that you can see is that I've also gone ahead and gathered some pictures of these places that I want to use in my story. Okay. And here in the story, in the pictures, you can always download two types of pictures. You can have one that will be the main picture, and then you can have another one that will be like a thumbnail. So it's entirely up to you how you want to build that. So since this data has a location in the location, I would like to probably create a map with that Excel file to actually plot those locations. This is an option that you can do now, or you could do individually plot the locations when you are making a story. So what I would do is I'll go back to my regular ArcGIS Online, so ArcGIS Online website, write my content, and then create a new map. And then what I'll do is I'm going to add in the Excel file. So go add a layer, and then here it's an Excel, it's a CSV file, so you could choose a CSV, and then I'll browse to the location, and then once I'm in the location, I will import it. If you scroll down, it's going to automatically see that you have a field called address, so it's going to use it. You have a field called city, it's going to use it, and a field called zip. Any field that it cannot use to associate the location, to identify the location in the real world, they will not use. And then you can go ahead and obviously if you have the name address called something else, you can change it and say use, right, for the address. When I do that, you can see that it's going to plot the map for me. And then here you can see it's distributed the churches location of where those churches are on a map for me. So a couple of things I could do quickly. I could go to the options over here and then increase the shape sizes of each of those. So let's say each one I'll make it 12 real quick, and then 12. Let's do a couple more. 12, 12. Let's do Then so pretty much I'm just trying to make those stand up a little better on the map, so I can actually you can actually see those locations a little bit better on the map. That's why I'm doing the symbology and the map. So, and it's entirely possible to create a map within the story map, but since we've already learned how to use the IGS online, you could just combine it, and you can bring in different maps that you've already created on IGS online into your story map. So it doesn't have to be that every story map you are building, you have to use the map specifically that you've designed for it. No, you can use any map from your content that you've already created to do this, to do in the story map, or multiple of them to do the story map. So here I will go ahead and say done, and then I'll go ahead and save this, and then I'll call it so here this is my so call it SoCal. I'll just call it SoCal buildings, and let's call add my initial to it. So when you create yours, it will not get you not get any conflict on that. I'll save the name. So now I have a map that I can use this map in my, and if I don't want the base map, I can always go ahead and swap the base map if you want to use a different base map. So maybe I want to make it a little darker so I can see the names. Yep, I'll just change that, save the map. And that will be my, so now go back to my story map. So once you go back to your storymaps.igns.com, if you want to create a story, think about it as I'm trying to create a PowerPoint. I mean, that's a good example that I can give. So here I'm going to say create a story, create story map, and then just as you do in PowerPoint, you have a different template that you can choose. The same option applies here as well. So here you could choose any of the templates that you want, and you can see how the information is going to be displayed. So if I choose the map tool, then you're going to see I'm going to have a image over here. I'm going to have a map, and then I'm going to have a thumbnails on the down. And then this one shows the same. It shows different pattern on how the information is going to be displayed. So it's pretty much based on the type of story that you are going to build, and then we'll determine the template that you're going to use, just like you pick a particular template in PowerPoint. So here, let's keep it simple. I'm going to use a map tool. So if I create a map tool, you can always have an option to say you want to you can see what people have done. So the map tool option, if I use the map tool, then it's going to ask you where is your images stored. So if your images, if you have any of these accounts, YouTube, you can go ahead and upload your pictures into any of this Flickr account ahead of time. Or if you want to load your pictures as you build the map, you can also use it to say, I want to upload my own pictures. So here I would say I want to upload my pictures, and then I'm going to call it buildings tour. And then I'll put my initial. So when you send yours, put your initial so it doesn't get confused. And then I'll go create a layer. And here what it's going to do is it's going to create the layers. So each picture is going to have, so now it's going to ask me for, actually I shouldn't have used this template. Thinking about it, let's see something, what I want to do. So here I'll go to my pictures. And then the first one is this guy here as the media. Then you can copy the, so here I'm copying up the information that I have in the Excel over. Let me see if this will work for me. Not this guy. Paste. Okay. and then you want the location. So now the location here is, you see, you have the option. You can geocode it ahead. You can geocode it. Since we've used the map, we should have used a different template actually, but I'll show you how to use this. So here, if you have the address, which I have the address, or you have the address in the Excel, in the CSV file, so I can go to the address and then pick up the address field, and then I'll ask it to geocode it for me here. So I'll say that, and now you can see that that location is found for me. So that is where that particular building is located, and I'll say add a point, because here with this particular template, you have to get the media, you have to get the information, and then the location before you can add a tour at the top point, and then it's going to create a point on the map for you, and then it's going to symbolize it with that. So now you can see that I have this, and here you can add in more information about the building. So everything that you want to say about the building, it can go over here. If I want to put the address, if I want to put a website, I want to put up the year that it was built, you can add all that information over here. And then obviously the columns are just to give some variety to the map. So with this template, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so you can keep going on that, and then here I can add another one. So if I want to add, or you can add, so if I add another one, I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to go and select the next building that I want to bring on board. So here I want to bring the Cathedral of Our Lady. So I'll bring this guy. Information, I'm going to get the information from my CSV file. And then for the location, I'm going to go to the location, that address that I have, and then enter the location here. It will geocode it for me. I'll say I want the color to be this, and I say zoom in to it so I can see where it is on the map. And then you see add to map. So now you can see the second one is created. So let's go ahead, let's do the third one. So I'll go ahead and do add the media. So let's do the first back to church. So here is this one, formation. That'll be the caption, and then the location is going to be the address. Enter the address over here. It will geocode it for you. Pick a different color. Zoom in on the map. Add the point, and obviously for the information, if you want to add anything else that you have, so like the build year, as I said, you can, this is pretty much what information you want the public to know. When somebody is looking at your story map, this is what you want people to be able to see. Okay, so I can keep going on with this. Let's add another one. So the media is going to be, select the media, which is the picture that you're going to use. So let's find St. John, this guy here. Information on that is here. No, the name didn't come true, so let's pick up the name and then pick up some description that we have, and let's pick up the location. Now I'm adding the locations with this particular template because this particular template allows you to build the points as you go along. But if I had to use like the map journal, then it would have allowed me to pick up the map that we created earlier on to be able to use that for the presentation. So each template will have a different feel of how it allows the user to be able to use it. So I made it to create a map, and then I came back and I used a different template. But you can see how you can use the map, that map as well. Let's add one more. Let's do this. That will be the same. Stretch. Let's get this guy here. Information is going to be the location is going to be down to that. So here I have 5 points, right? I can keep going on and add the rest of the pictures to it now. And you can see all those points will be on the map, and here you are still in the design phase of your map. So nothing is saved, so you can go ahead for the edit. You say edit me, so here you can say let's say popular churches in SoCal, or let's go church buildings actually in SoCal. All right, and then the logo, I mean to click on the logo here. We can go ahead, so that will become your title. You can hit on the save. So here you can see, you can use the story map to check, errors. Right now, what we could do is also, you have the base map. So if I don't want that base map and I want to use the DAC, you can use that. It's entirely up to you. Just find a base map that helps you tell your story. So let's see. Down a little bit. So here, if we want to share it, so if let's say we are done with the map and we want to share it, then we can go ahead and say share, and then you can choose to share it or preview. So if I want to share it publicly, I can share it publicly, and that means that now if I open this map in a different tab, it will actually show the story map the way we intended. So here you can see the location is there. We can go in and work on the location so it zooms in a little bit closer. But as you walk through, it's going to show you. Yeah, let's see. Let's get into the settings. So when we get into the settings over here, we can go to the zoom level, and then the zoom level, we can go to level, let's go to level 21 and see. Maybe let's go in a little bit more. Level 22. Actually, let's just do 23. And then the extent of the map is where the map is supposed to be. The data is there. We don't need to touch that. The logo, if we have the Esri logo, if we don't want the Esri logo, we can remove it. And then you can change the text and have any share links, or if you have your own logo, you can point it to the URL. You can do that. And the layout, This is the layout that we chose. So these are the different other layout that you can use if we don't want the one that we've already used. So let's apply it, save the changes, and then let's go. So if we go back to this and then we refresh it, we should be able to see the changes that we just made. But it doesn't look like, oh, yeah, it's zooming too much. Yeah, so we don't want 20. We want something like that. So let's go back over here to the settings, zoom level, and then let's do like maybe let's do 20. Save 20, and then go back onto your preview one. This is the one that we've shared. And let's take a look. So let me do one. No, that did not. Let's change this guy. 20 should be decent. 20. But it's been, I want skills 1000. Let's do 18. Let's save this map. Let's go to the share. Let's open this one again and see. Okay, so is there, but 18 might still be a little bit too much. So let's go back and refine the map again. Go over here, zoom level. That's 1000. Try 18 and see if 18 is perfect for us. And you're going to keep going back and forth when you're creating a map because you want your story to be able, people to be able to relate to what you are trying to share to them easily. So this is not an unusual approach that you keep going back. So now we've seen something that gives the audience a good general idea of where this particular location is in the real world, right? And that's their story, and you can keep going through. So if somebody comes in and they want to read the stories of these buildings, they can just walk through just like they're seeing a PowerPoint, but you are communicating that information to them in the form of a map with a map attached to it as well. So that is the general concept of the story map concept. So that is that is one of the template that we have. So let's save this guy, and then let's close this guy. And then if we were using a different template like the map general, the map general template, for instance, will allow a user to be able to start. Let's close this guy. Will allow you to bring in a map. So here it asks you for your title. So let's call it SoCal Church Buildings. Then go next and that, and then here it's going to ask you for the map. So here we can go in and select a map. So that's the map that we created. So what did we create? We call it this is the maps. So we can now bring in that map, right? And then hit on next on that, and then it will ask you so we can say some description, building history, for instance, just for sample sake. And now you can see the map that we created earlier on now has become part of the story. So when I start this particular template, it's going to give me a map of all those buildings, and then you can click on each of them and interact with it. And now I can start. So that's your home page, right? It's like your home landing template. But now I can go in and add in individual ones. So here I can go in and say I want to add in, let's put in the first church. And then I say I want to add an image, and then I will say I want to upload my image. It will ask me to browse, and then I'll go and find that image that I want to use. this guy here. All right, so I would say do that. Then the test that I want my audience to see will be that. Now go on next. And if I actually this is where I should have put in the other one. Add that. And now you can see that picture is there. So instead of a location, I have the same picture, and then I can repeat this, add in the next section, which pretty much is like, and you can do a hybrid. So here, if you want a picture and you want the buildings, you can also do that. So you have the map, you can select the map, you can add in a video, and then you can keep building this. And that is pretty much how your story map is. You just have a story, have the contents of what you want the story to say, and then have the words to go with it. So I was adding the CSV file for you, and you can reproduce this on your own and also finish up the other assignment that I've given you for the week. But that's a story map. It's powerful, simple to use, easy way to communicate. So now you want to think about it. You say you have a presentation for either your finals or some other assignment you have, as opposed to creating a traditional PowerPoint. Guess what? Now you can make your presentation a little bit more excited. And I've taught in different classes, and I encourage my students to use that in their final presentations, and those who did it came out very happy. The professors were very excited about the fact that they went out of the traditional way and put all that information, because pretty much it's like a PowerPoint, and you can add in all this and make your presentation in a more engaging way with an interactive map that you can zoom in, zoom out, and make a point or help explain a point you're trying to make. So that is your story map. I'll share that sample data with you, and then you can practice it and submit that as well for the week. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you.